Hello, everybody, and this is the video, a very short video for the 29th of September, and we're just going to be going over a few things between now and next Tuesday, just to keep everybody on track for the assignment that's coming up. As you all know, on October 6th, we have the expanded definition assignment due. So I'm going to share the screen right now and just show everybody a couple of things about that assignment. And we're going to go over the exercise that we did, the expanded definition exercise, and just explain how it connects to what you're going to be doing in that formal assignment. So let's just go here to screen sharing. Okay, so what we have here, if we go into our site on Blackboard, we go into content, we're going to be looking at the Unit 2 folder. Now, pretty much everybody has submitted the expanded definition assignment. It does connect to, or I'm sorry, the exercise. It does connect to the expanded definition assignment. But I want to open up the assignment first. So this is for the formal paper. As you can see, the due date is October 6th on Blackboard. You're going to need 2 academic sources. So that's something that you can do between now and next Tuesday. I'm going to be uploading a video where I'm going to talk only about the expanded definition assignment on Tuesday. But between now and then, you can start looking for your 2 academic sources. So for this, I really would like people to use the City College Library. There were a couple of submissions of the summary assignment where I had to tell people that the article that they chose to summarize was not an actual legitimate source. So you really want to avoid that, because that means that either you don't get credit for the assignment, or you only get partial credit, or you have to do it all over again, right? You want to avoid all of those outcomes by going through the City Tech Library to get your sources. So they should be academic sources that you get through academic journals for this. It's okay to check other sites like, encyclopedias, online encyclopedias, or Wikipedia, but you cannot use those as sources. You cannot put them on your cover sheet, or I'm sorry, on your references page as sources. So check the expectations very carefully. Make sure that you're within the word count. Follow all the instructions here. You're going to need at least 3 citations. So good thing to do between now and when we get together is to get those sources. So I'm going to close this out. And we're going to look at the expanded definition exercise. All right, so just clicking on the exercise first, and then clicking on the PDF that the exercise is based on. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little out of the way so we can just look at this. Now, I would say about 2/3 of you did a great job on this, but there were more than a couple, enough that it concerns me, who seemed to think that this was a summary exercise, or didn't quite get the idea of what it means to write a definition. And so those were the people that got less than 50%. Now, what is important is this right here, definition. You will write a 2-paragraph definition. This is what I couldn't quite understand why people didn't read this in the instructions. When you get, just make sure that you really, really concentrate when you're reading directions. What I got instead was I got 5 paragraphs of an entire summary of Frank O'Hara's article. Or Frederick O'Hara's article. And I don't quite get why that was, because it says here, all you need is a 2-paragraph definition of one of the terms below. And you can choose either an algorithm or the scientific method. And in those 2 paragraphs, you answer the question, what is the scientific method? What is an algorithm? So in Frederick O'Hara's article, there's a very limited amount of text that answers those questions. So right here, we have the ancient part of the text, right? And we can see that the part that has to do with the algorithm is right here in this paragraph, okay? So he developed a concept of writing a detailed process to be followed to achieve some goal. So this is really, you shouldn't be quoting anything beyond this paragraph if you're going to answer the question, what is an algorithm? So if that was what you chose, this is all you need to concentrate on. The rest of the writing is yours. The rest of the writing is up to you. So you're using Frederick O'Hara's article only to cite the history of the term. So when we say the expanded definition assignment asks you to write a definition of a term and include some of its history, the sources that you're going to be citing will probably be about the history part, but that's all you're going to quote them for. You're not going to summarize the entire source, because the entire source isn't really going to be the thing that you need for your assignment. It's just one part of the article that you're going to be citing. So for this is, if you're going to answer about the algorithm, this is the only paragraph you're going to concentrate on. You do not need to cite any of this other stuff from O'Hara's article. Now, if you decided to do the scientific method part comes down here, right? The most important part here are these steps. That's the most important part, okay? So you could, for example, go up here, 1901, and we got some history in this. You can pull it out of this paragraph, because this is when it tells you when the scientific method first came into use. And then the steps. So this is the only thing that you need to draw from in quoting O'Hara's article. What I saw with people who, not everybody, but like I'm saying, it's about a third of the class, so enough that it makes me concerned. It makes me concerned about this assignment we have coming up. I don't want people to misunderstand what a definition is. You only need to focus on this. What I heard and what I read was a lot of people quoting everything else that came after it, talking about World War II, talking about, all of the, what is technical communication and why is technical communication important? That's not what a definition of the scientific method is. So this would be what you would use in your first paragraph. When was it discovered and what exactly is it? These steps need to be included. When it was discovered needs to be included. In your second paragraph of this definition, tell us where the scientific method is being applied today. That means you have to do some writing yourself. All right. Now, some people got this. Some people did it really well. The scientific method is used in all kinds of research and development for new products. Every time anybody conducts an experiment or does research and development, anytime anybody does medical records, right, they use the scientific method. Or medical research to come up with new pharmaceuticals. They are setting up an experiment. So that means they're using the scientific method. You need to come up with examples that brings that definition into today, right? So that's what people need to do. And what people ended up doing instead was people ended up summarizing his entire article. And I think the part of why that happened was because the last assignment that we did was a summary assignment, but the expanded definition is not a summary. You're not summarizing anything in the expanded definition at all. So completely different task. You have to get your mind out of the whole idea of summary. You are just using the facts that help you with that part of the definition. You need to include some history of the term. So in the case of O'Hara's article, because it's a brief history of technical communication, it's a historical source. So you take the history part and you use that to include the history part of your definition. And after that, it's up to you to tell your reader what that thing is. So you need to come up with current examples, right? And that means use your knowledge for today. So that's why I gave people a choice, because not everybody actually feels comfortable writing about an algorithm, right? But a lot of people do. A lot of you I know what an algorithm is because you work in computers, so computer programs use algorithms all the time. You could use any examples from computer programming in that second paragraph to help your reader understand the use and the application of an algorithm. Same thing with the scientific method. Any of you who have ever done an experiment, who've ever taken a chemistry class, who've ever taken a biology class, have used the scientific method. So you need to get out of this whole idea of summarizing and write from your own experience, right? So you need to use a little bit of creativity and resourcefulness in your own head for this. So a couple of students have already asked me, can I resubmit the assignment? Absolutely, you can resubmit the assignment. So I am always all for people resubmitting because it helps you to learn, right? So if you are one of the people that got less than 50% because you didn't understand the assignment, after watching this video, once you feel like you get it, please resubmit. Read the directions very carefully. I don't want to see any more than 2 paragraphs, and I want to make sure that you're not summarizing all of O'Hara's article. All right, so that's it for today. Next Tuesday, I'm going to upload a video where I'm going to talk about the expanded definition assignment and how it connects to this exercise, which is very, very closely. But again, read the instructions for the expanded definition assignment as well, and have that part of your research process. Read the instructions of the assignment to help guide your searching for a source as you go to the library. All right, please email me if you have any questions, and everybody have a good weekend.